Hey, hi everyone. It's an amazing day today. I love talking about technologies, and when every time I get the opportunity to talk to someone who is in tech and is doing excellently great, I get super excited. I am Emma Shea, CEO at Imigify. I have on this call today or podcast today a very interesting person. He's a very good friend of mine, and I'll say it's more like a mentor also because he's been very instrumental to a lot of things in my career. So excited to have you here, but I'll let you do the introduction. I don't want to blow your whistle for you. I'll let you do the introduction. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background in tech. I know you've done a lot, so I'll just give you the floor.
Yeah, thank you, Emma. And wonderful to be here and to be on this platform. Just to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been in tech now on the industry as it is for maybe 18 plus years, and started off as a dev, if I can call myself that, but not like the traditional dev that that codes every day. But I was working in that capacity for a while, and I remember that during that time, I kind of felt like I wanted to be more of that person that, like the brain behind it. Because for me, I felt like, as a developer, someone else brings in the requirement and you just, build stuff. But I wanted to be that brain that thinks about how things work and how innovation works and, come up with ideas and what needed to be built. So I kind of transitioned from that dev mindset into more of a product manager, and I've been a product manager ever since, since 16 years now. I started that in Nigeria, transitioned to coming here to the US, came for my MBA, after which I started off with IBM. So at IBM, I worked as, I worked in the cloud storage space, Honda, fast storage, block storage, built wonderful things there. And after a while, I transitioned into Dell. While I was at Dell, I worked on digital transformation for Dell Digital Organization. In that capacity, I was the product manager and practice lead. And what that meant is that for the organization, for, Dell Digital, I was responsible for transforming people from, waterfall model, like to more agile model, shifting the organization from, how they used to do things to how we wanted to do things, which we called at the time the Dell way. So I helped lead that whole transformation alongside some other folks within the organization. And after that, I transitioned into my current role, which is at Microsoft, where I lead the accounts and billing team. I started off well. Before I started leading that team, I started off with consumer payments. So Microsoft at the time was trying to get into the consumer payment side of things. So I was tapped in to come, build that, with amazing talents and leadership at the time. But after which I kind of transitioned into my current role, which is account and billing role, where I own all things account management, billing, payments, fraud, identity, spend. Now I lead that from a technical standpoint, and I've been doing that for the past 4+ years. And all this while, for me, one thing has remained constant, and is that curiosity to innovate. One thing, and also the happiness that comes with actually seeing things from zero to one and building things. I'm a builder. I tell people I'm a builder. I just and all this while, I've worked with a lot of startups. I've advised in different capacity, and now I am leading an effort to build, or I've built, what we call Docuintelli, which is I would say my new baby. But it is something that is interesting. I think it's something that um, is fresh. It
Mm,
is a intelligent document companion, powered obviously
mm.
by AI. And I think we can go into the details. I'm not sure the questions that Emma has for me, so I don't want to go into telling you everything during my introduction. But that's what I've been up to in the past 18 years, really.
Yeah.
True and true, a technologist and innovator.
Interesting. Well, that's a very robust introduction, which is what I expected. It's one thing to do great things; is another thing to for those great things to filter through the ears of the people that should hear it. One of the things that I learned in my journey of entrepreneurship is they said if there are two rules to business. First is build a good business. The second rule is tell people about it. So the same thing in career. No matter how great impact you've driven, if there's no visibility or if you don't call out, your achievement, sometimes it might be missing. So I'm excited to hear a lot about your background. But most importantly, today, there's a question that is top of mind for me that I want to ask. You know, you know, take us back to the moment when you realized you had a real problem, on your hands. What happened? What did it cost you?
Yeah, I'm guessing you're asking as it relates to Docuintelli, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes. I mean,
okay,
you
good.
already went there, so I'm like, let's
Let's just
pick it
get
up
into
from
it.
there.
I feel you. To be honest, you know, the time that I kind of knew that yes, I had something was because I have lived it. I've experienced the problem myself. It's something that over the years, in different pockets, you experience certain things, but you don't see how big of a deal it is until over time when you do like a retrospective and you now see that there's an accumulation of those things, you know. And for me was I think the tipping point was last year. So a couple of years back, I got a car and I got it. Apart from the insurance that I got an extended warranty on it, which was a lot of money. I think I paid like maybe 5 grand on the extended warranty.
Mm,
And for you to pay that much, you would want to at least get the benefit of that from for a
that's
two
true.
year, paying 2 year, $5,000. And so I remember that my car had an issue, and I took it to the dealership. And I remember, yeah, I have an extended warranty, I had this warranty, so I cannot give them. But in my mind, the warranty would only cover like the mechanical and all those type of stuff, right? So
Mm,
I gave them, they fixed it based on the warranty. But what I did not know was that the warranty was exhausted. It covered everything, even outside of the mechanical and electrical. It covered things like rim damage or tire
mm,
puncture. Like it covered almost everything you could think of, like changing your keys. It covered that. As a matter of fact, even changing your mats, your foot mat in the car. It covered a lot of things.
oh
It was
wow.
that comprehensive. Even
Mm,
me that I got it, I didn't even know all that because I got it. It was in my inbox somewhere at the time when I needed it. I just give it to the dealership. But the dealership will not tell you everything that is in the contract. They will only tell you what the warranty covers as it relates to the service they're trying to cater for,
mm,
right? And
yeah.
they told me, yeah, okay, you got it covered. But they didn't tell you, oh, you can actually do X, Y, Z more. No, they didn't do that.
Mm,
So that was one of those moments where I had, that was a time that my tire got punctured. I bought a new tire. I bought a new mat. I bought a lot of new things that ordinarily was under the coverage of that warranty that I could have
mm,
gotten for free. So I paid $5,000, and additionally, I spent more money that I could have avoided. So that was one of those moments, but it was just one. The other part was, I have other, like policies, insurance. I have this property that um, the insurance on it had expired for like 2 years. I didn't even know. I didn't know because there was so much things, and I'm sure everybody would probably in this bucket where you have so much contracts, policies, insurance that you
mhm,
hardly keep track of everything. It's hard. It's almost impossible. And this one was one of those that slipped through the cracks where I kind of just forgot about it, and it took me trying to renew another thing that I now realized that, oh, this one has expired for 2 years. So imagine the cost of it. Like, God forbid, let's assume that, something that happened that I needed that insurance to cover it. I would
mm,
have now realized that, oh, I don't have coverage. And that could be like, God forbid, maybe the house burned down or something, you know. So you
mm,
can imagine how much loss a lot of people would have gone into. So that was that moment for me that I started thinking to myself, is there something out there that can actually solve for this? How
mm,
can I just do this? I realized I tried to search for it. The best I could do was me maybe putting the document in a LLM and such. But at that point in time, you have to know where it is. It is the point. There's something that's proactively doing this for you. And that
mm,
was what gave birth to Docuintelli. It was something that I wanted to solve for myself But as I spoke to a lot of people, I realized that it was a problem that nobody knew they experienced, but they had it. You know,
Mm.
so a lot of people are going through these issues, but you don't know because you don't. A lot of people don't go back to go to that policy to say, is it covered? So they wouldn't know that is a problem. So, but as I spoke to a lot of people doing the research for this and discovery for this, I realized that almost everybody that I spoke to said, "Oh my God, yes," you know. So it is a big problem, and that was how I got to this point of building for it.
I think that's very interesting because I can totally relate with that. And a lot of paperwork, uh, important ones for that matter, that I don't keep track of. I
Mm-hmm.
get them, yeah, sitting in my email. I don't look at them until someday that when something happens. There has been so many things that so many benefits that I missed because I didn't know they were going to expire and I could
Mm-hmm.
not catch it before they expired. So that level of enterprise grade compliance, for the lack of better word, will be helpful for my life. So I can stay, I can stay compliant with things going on in terms of paperwork. I think you kind of answered the next question that which I wanted to ask. Just before you built Docuintelli, I mean, what were you using? We all know that everybody was probably using. I would say I use Google Calendar, but I'm not even as efficient. So,
I,
so
I
what
would
would you say an alternative to Docuintelli would be? I mean, before you found it, what were you using?
honestly, the funny thing is that there is no alternative.
Mm,
That's just what it is. The alternative you would think of would be that, oh, maybe I will set a reminder. The reminder is only to tell you if that would expire or not. It wouldn't tell you that, okay, when you do have a problem, it is covered. You know,
that's
so
true.
you have to even know where those documents are in the first place. Some of them might be paper, one PDF that
Mm,
someone sends to you. You have to start looking for them. So the alternative is your shelf, your storage, maybe a Google Drive somewhere, or
yeah.
your email. But that is alternative. As one of the things that is compelling about this is like I think my competition, as it comes to Docuintelli, is non-consumption. So what I mean by
Mm,
non-consumption is people don't even know it exists. Like the problem is this. Like nobody's there's no so it could have been different if there is a solution out there that did not serve the need or did not give me the recommendation or did not answer my questions when I needed it,
mm,
right? Or give me something that did not give me something wrong. There is no solution out there to do that. So my competition is non-consumption. There
mm,
is nothing out there solving the need as it is. And this is a big, big problem. We have maybe 45 million renters in the US. You have millions of car insurance and warranties.
yeah.
You have everyday people, have contracts signed. You have your HOA policies, as simple as your HOA policy.
That's true.
Like the list is endless.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one of the things that I tell people that when I talk about document intelli is that if you look at the document space, right, there's a lot of innovation and there's a lot of support to capture you or to capture your signature to make sure that you sign that contract. So that's why you have the docu signs, the e-signatures, the LO sign, but that's where the innovation ends, right?
Mm,
That is down the funnel of that where you actually have to post signature now. Nobody is solving for that. It's your problem to go figure out how to remember. As a
mm,
matter of fact, the insurance are banking on that for you not to remember.
that's true.
Because
That's
for every time you remember, that's a claim and that's money out of their pocket. So that is where document intelligence comes in. The goal is to help you keep what is yours, right?
mm,
And not to spend money where you shouldn't be spending money on.
that's very interesting. I know this is, like you said, this is a problem most people go through. They don't even know it's a problem. Everybody has accepted it as a way of life. A lot of people cannot think that it could be better. So for
Yep.
you, what was that turning point? What happened that made you feel like I have to go build this?
Yeah, maybe it's my background, right? I told you earlier
Mm,
on that I'm a builder through and through.
yeah.
Um, you know, things happen it happens one time, happens two times, it becomes a pattern.
Yeah.
And for me, I recognize those patterns, and it's an opportunity for me to validate and say, is this pattern just about me, or is something that is bigger than me? Right?
Mm,
When it's bigger than me, then it's an opportunity to do something about it.
mm,
And that's what happened for me. I saw that pattern. I saw that as little as maybe $300 that I used to buy the extra tire to the potential that I could have not been protected because I forgot my insurance renewal. Um,
mm,
all those things to a lot of other type of documents that I don't even know where they are. My HOA, for instance, for my I don't even know where that document is. To be honest with you, even right now,
yeah.
you know. So one of the things is, in that during this period of just reflecting over the years of some of the things that I've missed,
Mm,
and the pain points that comes with it, I realized that what if I just have a centralized place that I can put everything in there, and I know that when I do need anything, I know that everything is right in this place, and I can go there, use plain English, and ask questions and say, hey, this just happened to me. Do I have a policy that that covers this, or what is my best? Something in plain English, and someone and Docuintelli will just help you go through all your documents and give you the answers in real time and tell you what you need to do, and you can do a follow up conversation on that, right? And
mm.
that's I felt that was something I felt like if I could have that, then that would give me rest of mind. And one of the things I did as well was to shop that idea to make sure that I wasn't just drinking my own Kool Aid.
Yeah.
And so I went ahead and I spoke to a lot of people, different people from different backgrounds, just to make sure that okay, I just wanted to make sure that I have a very diverse set of um, folks that I've spoken to, and
Yeah.
and the response were the same.
I think you kind of answered the next question. I was going to ask what makes you feel like the problem worth solving, but I think looking at what you said about the research that you did, the people you spoke to, kind of validating early, is this a problem worth solving? So I think that takes me to my next question. Just everybody could have said, you could have just built a spreadsheet, like people would say. um, why did you take this approach? Why did you build something that is powered by AI? I think this will actually get into the details of how this is powerful. So that's why I'm asking this question. Why did
Yeah,
you just build something powered by AI?
yeah, I could have done spreadsheets, just put, but I think it goes back to the same thing where spreadsheet is not going to be intelligent.
Yeah.
At the best, I would just have a centralized place where maybe the links to everything that I have is. Then I have to go there and I have to read each of those documents myself, which a lot of
Mm,
us don't have the patience to, myself included. I will not have those reminders, automatic reminders that hey, your policy is going to end by XYZ. I'm not going to have like a weekly audit of, the performance of all the documents I have in my vault. Um, I'm not going to have an AI that has gone through everything and has identified all the major things that you need to know about that document. I'm not going to have that. I cannot chat with my Excel in real time and ask questions, right? And one of the good things about this is also about document intelligence. We understand and we've built it in a way that maps and wraps around life events. So
mm,
now, if I want to build a new house, all the documents that I need there, I could move it under a new house. Right? I got a new job. I could add all my documents as relates to that job. I'm doing estate planning and will. I can say put everything, the will, certain document that my house document, for everything I want to do, I can put it inside that. And what that helps is this: when someone does pass away, for in the case of the will one, right, the estate planning, you can even add trusted contacts in that. So that
mm.
means even when the person is gone, the trusted contact have access to it. So they don't lose that because guess what? If I have a lot of things in my email and I don't and I'm gone someday, nobody will have access to it apart from maybe someone that has the access to the email, which they don't even know what they're looking for in the email, to be honest.
Yeah.
They don't know what is there. So but here it helps you plan. You can control access to those things as well.
Mm.
And we've gone a step further, to also include your financials there. So now we've done this integration with Plaid, so you can bring in your bank accounts there with the help of AI. It also helps you with financial advice, helps you go through your account, helps you identify recurring payments, what you shouldn't be doing. Maybe you have five Netflix accounts, or you have
Okay.
to, it gives you
That's
this
an
type of
interesting one.
tailored, personalized,
Mm.
uh, recommendation. So this is more like a centralized place for all things: legal
Mm.
documents, financials, everything. It is a one-stop shop for you to be able to make the best out of whatever document it is.
I was so sure that when I asked that question, we're going to get into nitty gritty of how this is more powerful. I know, a lot of times when I'm a builder myself, when you build solutions, sometimes people want to trivialize it because maybe they've not sat down to understand the problem. But I
Mhm.
think this is a problem a lot of us can resonate with. And the moment you mentioned it, I'm like, oh my God, I wish this existed before now. There's so many things I wouldn't have missed. There's so many things I would have known that I had access to, from even, college days. You get documents from school. There's just so many things that this would have changed for me as a person. So I think what I want is, you see, I understand that sometimes we set out to build a problem, but as we begin to build or solve for that problem, we begin to realize certain things about that problem. What was it about solving this problem that was surprising to you? It's one thing to set out to solve a problem, but as you're solving that problem, you're realizing that, oh my God, there's more to it. Was there anything specific that jumped out to you that was super surprising that you found out after you started solving this problem?
To be honest, what we currently have as Docuintelli, at least right now, wasn't what I set up to do. For me, I just wanted something to just chat with. I don't want to read 20 pages. I just want something to give me the answer. Like, boom, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But as you get into the problem space and you have conversation with people, you realize that, you know, yes, that is a problem, but some other people have a different version of that problem, right?
Mm.
So you begin to wonder, okay, how do you make this a solution that caters for the majority? Like, and I'll give an example. The financial tool is someone, the insight and everything is something that I kind of figured at the back of my mind that at some point we'll probably get there. It wasn't something I felt like we needed as an MVP, as an initial thing. But while I was, the initial version of that I had for Docuintelli, I was shopping it around, and I was talking to people and I was putting in front of people to get feedback. And a lot of people were like, "Yeah, this is great. like this is something I need," and I never, they were so hyped about it. But also, what they said that they also said that, oh, you know, if I upload my bank statement in it, it can tell me this, it can do that.
Mm.
They were not even thinking about a automate like a plat connection. They were like, they were just going to upload that statement there, right? I got that a lot. As a matter of fact, one of the people that I hired at some point to, when I gave them the, as a growth marketing person, when I gave them the platform and said, go, as part of the hiring process, they actually thought of it as a financial tool.
Mm.
So I realized that there's a lot of use cases as it relates to financial that people really care about,
Mm.
even though they found value in the primary use case that I was solving for. So that kind of helped me think about it. Okay, yes, we can expand it. State bank statement is a document,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
if we can get insight on all things, whether it is financial, legal, whatever it is. So we
Mm.
expanded it, at least the MVP, to cater for that.
Mm.
And there is a segment of user that we've decided not to cater for, and it's intentional, which is the small, medium, the businesses and freelancers. For those, we've also gotten a lot of feedback from that persona group, that archetype, and saying, "Hey, this is how I want to use it." And but for right now, it's We're going to get there at some point, but right now, this is where we want to start, right? We want to identify this type of persona. We're going to push for it, and over time, we're going to move into the business side, and we have our ideas on how to build for them as well. So to answer your question, going back, I just wanted to give you that picture, right? But
Yeah.
going back to the question, one of the things that starting in and ending with is that I realized that this use case to different people means different things.
Mm-hmm.
Or this, this solution in itself, the concept of it. And for us to get the most out of it and the most value to our end users, we needed to expand, and we need to also continually evolve. Even now that we're just in the MVP, we are pushing it out on the beta testing and everything. We are also thinking about how to begin to expand those use cases and all. So those are kind of like the things that I felt like, I didn't expect going in, because like I said, it's a problem that almost everybody have, but nobody actually recognize that they have that problem.
That totally brings me to, I was, when you were talking about, what you've built, my mind was like, oh, this would be a good enterprise, to, but it looks like, maybe that's a quick, fast follow that you were planning. So if I ask you now at the top of your mind, one, two, three, who are you solving for? What are those common use cases and what persona is it tied to? You've mentioned one that I got excited about. Like you talked about writing your will, so I think that one is super exciting. But I'll let you do the talking. So, but who exactly do you think, or who and what use cases do you think you're rolling out first, and what you're most excited about that you want to see people using?
Yeah, I think I'm solving for you and me and every
Mm,
other person that is going to ever see this.
yeah.
If you ever have a contract, whether it is in form of a warranty, an insurance, an HOA, a renter's policy, whatever it is, if you have ever signed a document that is important, then I'm solving for you,
Mm,
right? And what that means for varies for different people. Because if you are putting in an insurance, I'm solving for you in the sense that I don't want you to go out of pocket for something that is already covered. Your document knows, it just did not hacks the document,
yeah.
right? It knows it's right there. The document knows about what is covered or not, but it just did not hacks it.
Mm,
So I'm solving for that person. I'm solving for someone that is going to, you gave me a use case about the school thing, right? You're going to school. A lot of people that are going from, high school into the college, now they're signing a lot of things. They have a lot of contracts. Now they have to go to maybe get off their mothers and fathers insurance. They
mm-hmm.
have to get on their own personal insurance, but they don't know the inner workings on how insurance work, how to fly a claim, how to do a lot of things. They're starting their life at fresh. For those type of people as well, we're solving for them. As a matter of fact, we intend to roll out a program very soon, which we're going to be giving all college students 1 year free pro plan.
Mm,
Because we understand, because now your parent is not there to, I don't want to use the word babysit, but to help you. So you're on your own. But Docuintelli got you. You
mm,
know. So we're going to be giving them 1 year free plan for any college student so that they can also use that. They can attach their bank accounts, they can, get real advice because they don't even know how to manage resources at this point. They're still going to learn that. That's why Docuintelli is going to help them as well. I'm solving for the real part of it. Someone buying a new house, whatever your use case is, provided that use case has documents attached to it, I'm
mm-hmm.
solving for you. So that is that. So it is everybody watching this because I'm sure that everybody watching this has one
Mm,
document or the other.
yeah. Yeah. Well, to the exciting part, I love that. I love your answer about solving for everyone because I realize that wherever level you are in life, you've signed a document, you've received document. I've had parents who receive document, they call me and say, "Hey, I don't understand what this document is saying. Can you help me?" This kind of tool. That's another use case. People who cannot sit down to read 20-page, 30-page document, but they need to ask important questions. What does this document cover? So that's exciting. So what's the next step for you? I mean, you have an awesome product. What's the next step? Is the rollout? Is the launch? Is the fundraising? Do you have a round open? What does
All of
next
the
step look like
above.
for you?
All of the above, Emma. So I think, it is out. We've launched it, but we're in beta launch right now. But it's available. If you go to docuintelli.com, you would have access to it. You can use our promo code, which will give you a 1 month pro plan free. You
Hmm.
can use Welcome 2026. You can use that. It gives
Okay.
you 1 month free. And the whole idea of this 1 month is because we have three tiers. We have the free tier, we have the starter tier, and we have the pro tier. The pro tier is the most powerful. It has all the functionalities unlocked. The starter tier is okay, you're getting into it, easing yourself into it. But the
Hmm.
free tier is restricted. Even the LLM that we're using for that, is not as fast as, it's a lower tier, but if you want priority processing and everything, you start with the starter and the pro tier. So we wanted everybody to have a feel of the power of Docuintelli. And that's why we are giving that 1 month free. Test it. If you use it, then you would not cancel it. It is powerful.
Yeah.
So that's that. In terms of the fundraising, yes, we are. If you're writing checks, call me, email me. I'll take your check. I'll take your check because I strongly believe that we are building something powerful. If you look at, like I mentioned earlier in the call, in the document space, there's a lot of solutions, billion-dollar businesses that are just for signing documents,
Hmm.
right? That's the first step, just signing. But we are doing way more than that. As a matter of fact, who says we cannot forward integrate? We can forward integrate into signing documents, taking it from the beginning to the end of it, right? But for now, our focus, right, is to make sure that post signage, you have a tool that you can bank on, a tool that you can use and help you to not make mistakes, to not waste money, and serve truly as that intelligent companion that it is. And that's where Documental AI comes into play. So I'm hoping that we as we move from the beta to full launch, we get the traction that we expect, and we get the usage that we expect as well.
I have one more question. Is your beta testing, is it region specific or is it open to anyone in the world, anywhere in the world?
So it is by default the product itself is not geofenced, right?
Okay.
But we are focusing our effort more in the US, Canada,
Okay.
like in North America, really. But it's not geofenced. Someone from the UK can use it, but it is not targeted towards them for now.
Okay.
We've not deliberately geofenced it,
Hmm.
but it is open.
Okay. So I'm believing that when you do your full rollout, it's probably going to be widely targeted to a larger market, other market. I mean, US and Canada are the largest market. Let's be honest.
To be
So,
honest with you, I
yeah.
think the goal is to capture the US market. Once you
Okay.
capture the US market, capture Canada, or the other markets would come easily. And
Mhm.
also when it comes to um, document residency, the laws in Europe is different from the laws here in the US.
Yeah.
So, and that's why we're not going all out solving for that right now. We're solving for the US. And as we get the traction and the and the adoption that we expect, and then we can begin to strategically move to other regions, so then we can solve based on the document residency rules and laws in those countries.
Well, it's been really exciting getting to know about Docuintelli. I know I knew a little bit about it before this call, but just talking to you, this conversation made me kind of realize that the use case is kind of wider than I thought, and that's exciting for me. Happy you're building this. I can't wait to. I already created an account, so I already
Yeah,
have an account on there.
you
So,
should you should use it. I
yeah,
know you should use it. And like
mhm,
I said, there is a 1 month free, so you can use the pro plan, feel the real power.
yeah.
And there's a specific use case that I forgot to mention. I'm just
Okay.
going to quickly squeeze it in if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Is we sign a lot of contracts. When I say contract, like when you open an email, terms and condition, you don't read it. Nobody reads that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you do online that they tell you to read the terms and condition, but you never do. What Docuintelli also does is you can just copy the URL of that terms and condition, paste it there. We would extract the content, right?
Hmm.
And you can ask questions and we give you insight on all the things you need to know, all within 30
Wow.
seconds. So while you're trying to open this account or this profile or whatever, and the terms and conditions, they say, tick here, I select and I agree to this terms. I agree to, before you agree to anything, just use Docuintelli to understand what you're agreeing to.
Yeah. Make sure it's agreeable before you agree to something.
Before you agree, to avoid the stories that you don't want others to hear about.
Oh, that's actually very interesting. I That looks like a use case that will work for me. At this stage of my life, I kind of signed a lot of documents, and I try to read them, but we all know that we can't sit behind reading, tens of pages of document. Having a solution that helps you read through, and I can ask specific question and know if I'm signing my life away, and it can tell me, hey, you're fine. You can sign this one. You're not signing your life away. That's actually really exciting for me. So. Congratulations on what you built. I will be cheering for you. We will be cheering for you. Definitely going to be one of the first user. We're going to take the word everywhere and let people know that this is in existence. This is totally going to change people's life. But it's really been exciting talking to you today. Well, what I want to do is I'm really hopeful that we get an update, maybe 3 months, 4 months, or anytime you're ready. If you're ready to come share an update with us, we'll be happy to have you back and just ask questions on how it's going, what's different, what have you learned, and what new use cases or personas are you breaking into. Thank you so much today.
Yeah, absolutely. I would. And thanks for having me, first off. And I definitely would love to come back and share the progress we've made. I appreciate it, yourself and your audience for having me. Thank you.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much. We'll catch up some other time. Bye bye.